video, I want to talk about some tiny, I am talking minuscule things that I have done to improve my life. These are like little changes. They aren't habits. They're not things that you have to do ongoing, that have constant maintenance. They're just tiny little things that you could do today that in 6 months time you'd look back at and be like, wow, I'm really glad that I did that. Most of the things that I'm talking about in this video I actually did on life admin days, so you might have seen me do these things, and they're very much those 1% improvements. Not all of the things that I talk about in this video will have the same impact on your life as they have on mine, but I'm hoping that this video will spark some ideas for you for little one and done changes that you can make in your life that you're gonna appreciate in a year's time, maybe in like 6 years' time. Let's dive into the little changes that you can make to improve your life. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, the ultimate learning tool to explore your creativity, widen your skill set so that you can improve in your career or just explore your curiosity. The most recent class that I took on Skillshare was one by Mari Andrews. She did a class on creative transformation, 9 exercises to write, draw, and discover your future. It is a really good activity if you want to do a little bit of introspective time, a little bit of reflecting. It's really thought-provoking and also just really fun to do. The first 500 people to use the link in the description down below will get their first 2 months for free. I'm gonna have a link in the description below where you can sign up for 2 months of Skillshare for free. You can do Mari Andrews' class, you can do a bunch of other cool classes that are created by really interesting and really skilled people that you're actually going to recognize. I'll talk a little bit more about Skillshare later. And now I'm going to dive into the video, the 15 things to do to get your life together. Number 1, setting up a password manager. This has been life-changing. I appreciate this every single day of my life. Every time I hop onto a website and I can't remember my password and I don't have to click the forgot password button and go through that whole process, I am thankful that I took an hour of my time to set up a password manager. Not only will a password manager help you when you're logging onto things on your computer, but also your phone and your iPad. I personally use LastPass. There are a lot of questions about the safety of password managers. Whenever I've talked about them, I get comments about that. I'd suggest doing your own research. From what I've found, it is safer to use a service like LastPass than it is to have one password for everything where you can hack way more easily. Number 2, track and cull your subscriptions. I feel like in this day and age, everything is a subscription and it's so easy to sign up to the free trials or just sign up and be like, yeah, I'll just cancel it in a few months, and then you kind of forget about it. A year goes by and you've been charged $25 a month for a subscription that you haven't been using. So take some time, just an hour, maybe 2, to go through all of your subscriptions and cancel the ones that you don't need. I actually did this recently and I ended up saving myself hundreds of dollars because I downgraded some of my subscriptions. I was like, I actually don't need those extra services on those subscriptions. And you can find cheaper alternatives as well, especially if you haven't looked in a while. Number 3, and this is where we go to the minuscule ones, but still ones that every day I'm like, yeah, so glad I did that. And that is labeling your skincare. I personally use The Ordinary. All of their products look the same. I'm not sure what they all really mean, so I label them with AM1, AM2, PM1, PM2, and honestly it's made my life so much easier. I don't have to think when it's early morning and I can't be bothered to do that thinking about which one I need to put on first. Now maybe you don't need to label your skincare, but maybe you have like cleaning products and you're never sure what you should be using for what. Or maybe you even have like containers in your house and you don't know what goes where. Labeling saves lives. Number 4, once again, very small, but put DW40 on anything that needs DW40 on it. If you have a squeaky gate, put some DW40 on it. If you have a squeaky door, put DW40 on it. I'm not sure what else it's used for other than squeaky things. That's generally what I use it for. So recently we had like a rusty shed lock and we put some DW40 on it. Seems like an obvious solution, took me a long time to get there, and it's one of those tiny changes that every time I open the shed now I'm just like, wow, so thankful that I took 5 minutes to chuck some DW40 on that. Number 5, get your bank account set up in the right way and set up your bills to be paid automatically. This is one of those things that you'll set it up and you'll just like get constant ongoing returns from it. You'll just be so grateful that you took an hour once again to set this up. And this also goes for things like switching to that new bank or getting that new financial management software. Those things are one and done activities that when you've done them, honestly, are going to make your life that much better. For me, creating a new business bank account, getting a financial management system like Xero, life-changing. There is so much less stress on my shoulders, and it didn't really take me that long to make those changes. Number 6, get your productivity system set up. I don't know if this is really a one and done activity because it's probably something you're gonna have to revisit every 6 months or so. Your life changes, your responsibilities change, you've gotta sort things out every once in a while. But if you get a really strong base set up for your productivity system, it will impact your productivity forever. Watch out that you don't fall into the trap. Okay, getting my productivity system set up, I'm gonna spend 3 months doing this because that's not very helpful. Give yourself like a deadline, a time limit. Don't be one of those people that just like gets obsessed with the tool and not doing the work. And if you aren't sure how to set up a productivity system, Thomas Franks actually has a really great course that walks you through that. And I think it's closely aligned with the Getting Things Done system by David Allen. That is on Skillshare. And like I mentioned earlier, you can get 2 months of Skillshare for free by using the link down below. And then you can watch Thomas Frank's course and learn how to set up your own productivity system. Number 7, get rid of things that have been sitting in your house unnecessarily for months. So in, I think, one of my first Life Admin Day videos, I got rid of a piece of glass that had been sitting in our hallway for literally like a year. Once again, a very small change with a bigger impact than you think it's gonna have. Number 8, make that appointment that you have been avoiding. I feel like making an appointment is one of the easiest ways to create like big action because all you're doing is picking up the phone, making the appointment, but there's so many things that then happen from there. It has such a domino effect. In one of my very first Life Admin Days that I filmed on this channel, I have it linked up here and down below, I made an appointment to look into getting braces on, and I made an appointment to talk about getting my wisdom teeth out. And that led to getting braces, getting my wisdom teeth out, and all of those things have made such a big difference in my life, but it was just such a small action to take. Whenever I see my straight teeth, and whenever I realize that I haven't gone to the dentist because of an infected wisdom tooth for months and months, I am grateful that I took that action. Number 9, get some Google Home, Siri, and Alexa routines set up in your space to make you a more organized, life together kind of person. So I've talked about my routines before, I won't dive into them too much, but basically I have a Google Home that goes off every morning and it tells me what's on for my day, my reminders, all that kind of stuff. It does the same thing at night, and it's so helpful in getting my life together. Number 10, create a list of meals that you can go back to and meal prep. I feel like this is such a helpful activity to do, and all you have to do is think through all the meals that you've loved meal prepping in the past that you've never actually recorded. Having one space with all of your meal prep meals will save you money in the long run. Also, it'll make sure that you're always eating great food, and you'll just have these recipes that you can go back to so that you're never unsure what to make for your meal prep. Number 11, create homes for your items. This is a really quick thing that you can do that will have an ongoing impact. I think a lot of people just have all of this stuff, but they don't have homes for said stuff, and that's why your house can get so messy so easily. The more homes you have for the stuff that you own, the tidier your house will be. If you want to go ahead and turn this into an activity, you could write down all of the categories, sort of KonMari style, and then write down the homes of everything in those categories. If there's anything that is missing a home, get intentional and create homes for those things. Following on from that, number 12 is adding hooks, baskets, and containers in your house. So I've added a hook to my kitchen sink door. I've added little sort of containers above my bathroom sink. I've got a big basket filled with all of my laundry items. I've got a basket in my lounge room with all of my workout gear together. Oftentimes one thing doesn't have its own individual home, but like a group of things that can be grouped together should have a home. And containers, baskets, hooks help you with that. They keep things organized and together. Before doing this, I would definitely recommend going through the 30 Days to Simplify challenge. I'll have the ebook linked down below as well as the video series up here. Number 13, clearing out your notebooks, particularly if you are like a Hermione Granger and you just love having heaps of notebooks. I feel you, but when you have like 20 to 30 unused notebooks, it's not really helpful because then you feel this sort of like paralysis and you're like, ooh, I don't know which notebook to write in. Oh, I should use use up that notebook. I'm just not gonna write anywhere. Clearing out your half-filled notebooks is just like, it's a declutter of the mind, not a declutter of the space. Which moves us along to number 14, which is decluttering annoying parts of your home. Once again, 30 days to simplify will change your life, but if you can just pick those parts of your homes that are the most frustrating for you to deal with, that feel the most overwhelming, and declutter them, that will be a one and done activity, maybe like a once yearly activity, but it will have an ongoing impact in your life and you'll feel better because of it. So number 15 is buying an easier to use tool. So I don't think tools are the be all end all. They aren't the answer to all of the solutions. More often it's an internal problem than it is an external problem when you're trying to be more consistent with something or start a new habit. However, if you have a tool that you use that is difficult to use and it's easy to replace in a cheap-ish way, do it. For me, an example of this is I had a mop and it was very frustrating to use. I had to have like a proper bucket with it. I replaced it with a spray mop. It made my life better. Another example is I had a vacuum cleaner. It didn't actually do anything. So I'd vacuum my house and be like, wow, everything's still dirty. And replacing that with a Dyson vacuum cleaner, not a cheap replacement, but it made a huge difference and made me want to actually vacuum my house more. So if you have any tools in your life that aren't that good, but you still use them, there's just a lot of friction between you and using them, and there's a cheap way to replace them or upgrade them, definitely invest. I think tools can be really game-changing. As much as you don't want to encourage people to buy things, there are just some things that make a huge difference, like my Google Home or even my rice cooker. If you want to explore new skills, deepen existing passion, and get lost in creativity, you can with Skillshare's online classes. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creators, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life so that you can move your creative journey forward without putting your life on hold. You can learn and grow with short classes that fit into your daily routine. There are classes in things like creating a presentation, getting your productivity system set up, creating a 100-day project, as well as creative writing and photography. Like I said, I'm going to have the link to those 2 classes that I recommended, Mari Andrews' class on creative transformation and Thomas Frank's class on creating your productivity system. Those 2 are really good classes to kick off with, and you can kick off with those using your 2-month trial of Skillshare. If you click the link below, you can get 2 months for free and start achieving your learning goals. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially when you compare it to pricey in-person classes and workshops. It is less than $10 a month for an annual subscription. You can click the link in the description below to get your first 2 months for free to try out those 2 classes that I recommended. If you did like this video, you're probably going to like my video that I created on 14 small changes that you can make to simplify your life. I believe that a lot of them are similar in nature to the ones that I talked about in this video. They're sort of one and done activities that will ongoing have an improvement on your life. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you soon.